What's going on, guys? Part 2 in the series, reviewing Duelmasters playsets. It's just me today. I'm going to go over set 1 and jump right into it. Alcadius, Lord of Spirits. This card definitely was relevant, and it still continues to be relevant in niche decks. Completely scrubs Darkness, Water, Fire control. Aside from Aqua Surfer, very strong card. Very strong presence. Probably exceeded my expectations, especially considering it wasn't too good in the old TCG, thanks to Karile. The MVP, or number 2 in the set, was definitely Pickery. This card gave life to Alcadius. This card actually turned out to be incredible. It was an automatic 4 of in every deck. In Duelmasters, draw is extremely powerful. Combine that with being a practical blocker at a hefty 4K, which was very relevant. And the fact that it could evolve into Alcadius and later Alfadios and work in Alcezu decks, Pickery was a very, very strong card. Definitely a good breakout card in the set. Rios, nerfed slightly. You can't draw past 5. It saw play, and it really fell off quick. I was surprised, a little disappointed in Rios, but it did see play. Holio, this was continues to be the sackiest card in the whole game, in my opinion. It's ironically used more in aggros and rushes, especially like fairies and stuff, and mechas and queen and stuff like that, to sack other control decks. To sack other aggro decks, since you're probably not going to use shield triggers against a control deck because they're using Bomedius. So yeah, I found that ironic, but Holio definitely overperformed my expectations. Moving on to blue. Crystal Paladin, he was relevant throughout the life of the game, but he gained the most relevance with Crystal's Waylancer. It's a broken Liquid People Evo. We'll touch on him in a future video. He's a great card, untouched, very iconic, great all around. So Aqua Surfer. Aqua Surfer definitely was very, very powerful and continues to be. There's no Karile in this game. So this is your spot removal from blue. Gets rid of any guy. Gets their problem guy off the board. He's hefty at 2,000. Great race. Liquid People can evolve. Fantastic card. Very influential in the meta. Streaming Vision. This card was like a reverse Aquan for mono blue. Didn't see play at first, but thanks to the Liquid People deck, this card is actually used very often. Often as a 4 of. Great card for mono blue. Illusionary Merfolk. It was good at first, but it quickly fell off. There's no Emerald, and we're kind of missing good Cyberlord support, so it really didn't impact the game too much. I know it's the Gauntlet's favorite card. He's probably not going to like that opinion, but yeah, I'm surprised it didn't see more play than it did. And for water, I'm going to touch on Energy Stream. It's Energy Stream, still used to this day. Basic draw card, used in mostly controls, some aggros, very versatile. It's always been good. It's always going to be good. Moving on to Darkness, we got Balam. They buffed him. He breaks an extra shield now since he breaks the threshold of 12k. So he was pretty good, I have to admit. Continues to see a little bit of niche play, but now we have Balam, so he sees less. But he's playable in the old division and new division thanks to the deck they gave us. So that's nice. Lost Soul. I don't know how I feel about this card existing. I think it has to exist though, to be honest, even though I disagree with it. It definitely overperformed. This card continues to be spammed in Ult Division to this day. It's very important, very impactful in the meta. It often decides games, especially in control matchups. This card severely outperformed my expectations. I thought it was going to be bad since it got a nerf and the game was more creature focused, and boy, was I wrong. Terrapit. It's Terrapit. You can lose your best guy for free if you're playing an aggro deck when you attack your opponent. Pretty nutty. Yeah, it's Terrapit. Often found as a 4 of. Definitely met expectations. Maurice, I like this guy. He was, they changed Rothis. They left Rothis out of the game because Rothis actually was a darkness effect, similar to Proclamation of Death. So they cut Rothis and put him in. He evolved into Balam. He's great to get a big body off. He doesn't choose, so he's good against stuff like Alzonius and Hexproof stuff. I like this guy. Definitely slightly exceeded expectations. I was a big fan of him. And the last one I'll cover is Ghost Touch. This card got nerfed. It used to be random. Now it's your opponent chooses. This card was way too degenerate. There was a point in time where Water, Dark, Fire, Nature Control with Bombazar was being used, and this was a 4 of. And this just was a degenerate card. It led to everyone trying to just chip away at the opponent's hand. It was random, very overpowered. I 100% agree with the nerf. Moving on to red. Groblaw, Valborg. It was nerfed in the English TCG. They left him the way he was in the OCG. He was good at first, but he quickly fell off due to lack of human support and better rush aggro stuff, such as Queen and Dreammates. Scarlet got a nice little buff, but saw niche play. He's a Sky Terror. Maybe if he was a dragon, he would have saw more play. Bomedeus, he did things. Until Sapphire came out, he was the blue-black-red finisher. He's a great card to have in the game, even though I have mixed feelings about him and the shield burn mechanic. I think he's a good card. He's the finisher for control. He's a dragon. He's Bomedeus. Who doesn't love him? Power Fighter, slightly nerfed. When he battles, he gets 1k. This was so stuff like Burst Shot and Phantom Bites can get him in the shields. So he was a pesky card, the developers felt, I guess. He was really good. I still used him in Rush. I think a lot of people slept on Pyro. I always like Pyro as a 2 or 3 of. He's pesky. He keeps poking his shields. If they don't have blockers, they're on the clock as a Rush or aggro player. So that was cool. Volcanic Arrows. This card's actually very good. It actually exceeded my expectations. This gets rid of a lot of stuff, and I don't only use this in Rush. I sometimes use this in other decks too. It's actually really good spot removal. So I'm a big fan of this card. I believe it got kept in the rotation for the block with the deck. So that's great. Volcanic is an iconic card, and I'm glad it's around. Cocolupia strongly, in every single way, exceeded expectations. It found its way into traditional, just really slow, clunky dragons, but also found a home in Jagirion, which is very busted in my opinion, but I digress. Cocolupia, it's great. Yeah, still sees play to this day. Exceeded expectations. Rumblegate, this one also exceeded my expectations. Each of your creatures get plus like 1k and can attack on taps. I'm a big fan. It's like a Holy Off. They don't have blockers, and you get 1k. So if you're playing a mirror, this card can definitely decide the mirror match. Definitely exceeded my expectations. This card, Titan Giant, definitely, in my opinion, the #1 breakout card of early Duelmasters plays. He is insane. He ramps 2, and you get to search your mana zone for 2 guys and return them to your hand. This guy was insane. He completely blew my mind, blew expectations away. I 100% love this guy. I think people ran Nature just for him, to be quite honest with you. But he let you get back himself. You could keep looping Titan Giants and build a board. He let you get Bombazar, tuck it in mana safely, get it back later, build a board. He works in so many decks. Like you could pretty much throw him in anything that's moderately top heavy, and he's just a fantastic card. Definitely the MVP breakout card. Love him, love him. Roar of the Earth was another one that surprised me. This was niche. I like this card. A lot of people didn't, but due to the stupid mana rule with the you have to search with only 3 cards that the game limits us by, this one actually limited it in such a way that you guaranteed to get your bombs back, such as Titan Giant, Bombazar, the stuff that can win you games. So I'm a big fan of Roar of the Earth. Definitely exceeded my expectations. Trench Scarab. So this guy was really good, actually. He saw play in an early Bombazar Light Fire Nature build. He was a very good board control card with Techno Totem. He was really good at first. Unfortunately, bugs kind of suck. Unlike in Kaijudo, bugs were great. So yeah, that's my opinion on the good cards. On the cards that disappointed me, I definitely am going to have to go back to Duelfang. I 100% agree Duelfang should have got a buff. My opinion, he should be 5 mana, 8,000, still ramp 2, and then when he enters, he battles an opponent's creature or snares an opponent's creature or something. He doesn't do enough. You have this weird conundrum and paradox where you're ramping to bomb stuff, but you also have this beat stick. So it's like Duelfang wants to be an aggro card, but he also wants to ramp to other control-y stuff, like maybe Lost Soul or, I don't know. There's really nothing past Lost Soul that I would think of, especially early on. It's just a weird... Dolfang just needed a buff, in my opinion. He didn't get the love, and he was the least played out of the 5 iconic cards, being Dolfang, Paladin, Bomedius, Alcadius, and Balin. So, my 4 shitlist cards that disappointed me were definitely Logic Cube, Dimension Gate. Here's Dimension Gate. Logic Cube. Where's Logic Cube? There it is, Logic Cube. Definitely Rumbling Terrorhorn. He definitely disappointed me. And Threshcrawler. So I'll tell you guys why they all disappointed me. It's because of the awful mana system and graveyard and deck search. You only are limited to 3 cards. Back in the TCG, something like Rumbling Terrorhorn was so good. You could get anything. You could get a Pyro Fighter, you can get a Bomb, you can get a Handguard like Arca de la Serna. You can get so much. With the limit, if your deck is full of creatures, you're assed out. So I was really disappointed that some of my favorites like Rumbling Terrorhorn were nerfed. But, I mean, I don't know. Who knows? I don't think they'll change the system at this point. I think the DMP team is stuck in their ways. But I digress. But if you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments. I appreciate everyone's feedback. And I'll be working on set 2. Thanks. See you guys later.